Guess what I did? I filmed this whole review and forgot to show off the packaging, so here I am before the review starts. Magic. Anyway, he has one of these annoying collector destroying packagings where you have to rip up the bubble right here. There's no way you can do it without tearing the bubble. And nobody liked that. So what I used to do is leave one side still attached. Here is his character artwork right there. So the logo's right here on this side. There. You see the XB logo, Scion XB. Right there. And here is the underside of his packaging with his product shots. And you can see his bio. Well, his quote. Speed is immaterial when you've got intelligence and killer rims. They couldn't give us bios, but they started giving us quotes when they started using this packaging. But pretty much there's that. And let's start this T-Man 978 chill review. Hello everyone, T-Man 978 reviewing Transformers Alternators Autobot Skids. Skids is a Scion XB from around 2005, 2004, 2005. I'm not even sure if they even still make Scions anymore. Skids, in my opinion, is hands down one of the most solid alternator molds. I mean, the only thing that worries me about him, or the only thing that I really dislike, is he has no rotating waist joint and this little itty-bitty gun that he has right there. Other than that, this has been my favorite alternator, or one of my favorite alternators, I should say. You may have noticed that it was hard to see his eyes. It just looked like he had a completely silver face. That's because he has yellow eyes. I don't know why they try to go like toy accurate with some of these, because they're trying very hard to capture that G1 feel. And looking at his head sculpt and looking at his overall design, you could see that this would have been a great Ironhide remold, or actually repaint in his case, because that head is Ironhide all the way. He does have a few downsides, but not too many. I mean, some people could complain about this whole door right there on the back of his legs, or his seats right there on his butt. But I really like that this is pretty much the whole roof of his car, and they were able to compact it right there on his back, and it doesn't really take away from his overall image. I really loves that, and he stays together really nice and tight. I believe it's the fault of this seat arrangement, that's the reason why they weren't able to get him waist rotation, but I think they could have if they tried, but I guess they didn't want to. If you lift up right here, it's much like, I believe, his generation self. You see that he has great molded in abs right there, but since his chest hangs down like this, you can't really even see that, so it's almost like a waste of time. Now let's get into his articulation. One thing that does come apart is this, depending on how you actually play with him. I think they should have made the pegs longer so they can actually sit in there, but I don't know if they could have done that. But his head is on a ball joint. He can look up about that much. Not really look down, and of course rotate 360. The shoulders can rotate 360, go out all the way. They can kind of bend back a little taste. His bicep swivel, double jointed elbows. His wrist can go in like that. His fingers can bend like this all on one peg, and his index finger comes out. His hips can kick forward very far, go all the way out to the side. His upper thigh rotation, knees that bend almost 90 degrees. He has ball jointed ankles that can pivot that much that way and this much that way. He can kick all the way back. He can kick all the way up. He has this heel spur right here. And you could bring, no you can't, wait, I could have swore yeah, you could bring the ankle joint back a little bit, but I don't know if you would ever need to do that. So as you can see, he is very stinking posable, which is nice. It's not too many alternators that has bicep swivel and thigh rotation and double knee jointed elbows on top of that. So he is very, very posable. It's like I said, the only thing he's missing is a rotating waist joint. And here's the pose that I was able to get him in that easy while I was sitting there. He has options as far as the door wings. You can sit them back. This is the best look to me because they stay out of the way, or they help hide this backpack a little bit. But if you wanted to, you could bring the doors forward like that, push them in like that. Or, let's see. You could have them hanging down if you wanted to get them completely out of the way. But I don't really like that too much. Here he is next to Wind Charger and Trax. And as you can see, he's like, kind of short compared to them. I thought these two were closer to the same height, and let me try to look at it with the naked eye. Yeah, Trax is a little bit taller than him, but as you can see, Wind Charger is tall. I believe Sideswipe and Sunstreaker are just as tall as Wind Charger. Besides not having a rotating waist joint and this part right here coming undone a few times while you're playing with it, the main thing that used to get on my nerve is his gun. The gun, besides being too small, doesn't like to stay in his hand. But now let's go to transformation. Open the fingers, take the gun out, close this right here, and bring it like that. Put that off to the side. The trickiest thing about transforming this guy back into vehicle mode are the arms. But I think I figured it out. You want to detach this and this. Bring them back. Now go ahead and grab all of this and wait, you might have to untab the head. The head does tab into a little tab right there. Grab this and unfold it out right there. Leave his head basically like it is right now. The doors, go ahead, put them out and then rotate them this way to get out of the way of the arms. The best way to do this, keep the shoulders like they are in robot mode or a regular neutral position. Put the arms out, rotate it in like this, and as you're going in, once you pass the door, bring that down, keep rotating on this joint right here all the way in underneath of that tab I mentioned, and then go ahead and rotate the arms this way and bend the elbows so that they're up under there behind the door. And the fist has to be closed, of course. Do the same thing over here. Get it to rotate in there all the way. Bend the elbows. Get the fist behind the door. It may not sit right at first because it's rubbing into these door joints. Once they're under there, fold this up to get it up like that. The head. Rotate the head forward as much as you can on that little neck joint right there. Put his little forehead crest over this ridge right there. Grab the gun and put it onto the back of his head. There's a little peg right. Come on, focus. Peg right there that fits into the back of his head. Leave that the way it is for right now. Go ahead, and I'm going to show you this before I transform it. But they actually painted his interior a little bit. So that's very cool. They barely painted any of these people's interiors. And this steering wheel does not turn. It's a little bit of soft plastic that can break, so don't mess with that. But as I was going to say, lift this up a bit and rotate it like that. Now we can fold this down like this. And try to get it around that stuff right there and bring that up. Now that's like that. We'll leave that like that for now. I guess you can lift this seat up right here, or these two seats. Push them forward a bit, closer to the dashboard. Go ahead and close up these heel spurs. Lift this seat up, or both seats up on both sides. Grab the foot and force that joint that's really tight that I was showing you earlier. Crap. Ball joints, everybody. But push the feet up behind the seats. Now, you can go ahead and bring the bumper up. Grab the legs and shove the thighs into the shins. Connect everything together, or peg everything tightly together. Now we can go ahead and accordion this roof back. Or you might have to bend it like that. Accordion that. Put everything flush, peg everything together right there. Bring it over the feet. Snap it into place right there, which is simple enough. Keep fiddling and fiddling until you get that together. Now go ahead and shut these doors. And they peg into the bottom frame right there. So that wasn't as tough as I thought. And here he is in his Scion XB mode, which I was so pressed to get this. I hated these cars in real life, but I was so pressed to get this because it's just so different. Look at the rim detail. I wasn't pressed for this flame effect right there. A lot of people hated that. Let me tell you. Here's reflective mirrors or side view mirrors. I don't think you can, but the light's not shining good enough. You can see his brakes in there. There's brake pads in there, just like on tracks. And it says, yeah, it does say Cybertronian radios right there. You can see a signal light, which is cool. All the transparent lights in the front. The Scion logo. Man, the car modes on these guys were the best things about them. And he has these frosted windows right there. I don't know why they did that all the way around. I can see the rear to hide the feet and whatnot. You can see it says Skids on his license plates right there. This opens up. Can't store anything in there because the feet are in the way. I guess you could pretend, and what's up with this? You could pretend that they're like speakers or something. I guess I should have put that under the bar, but I guess it doesn't matter since this still shuts. But to show you, the front window's open. One thing you might have to worry about is this bar coming detached. But the door is open and you can see inside. And the rear door actually opens. It's kind of hard to get to. You might have to push the seat down and then grab it. But yeah, the rear door is open. So it's cool that he was actually able to get front seats and rear seats. It's really, really cool, to be honest. He has no rear view mirror in there. And the hood opens, where you can see that engine that we attached to the back of his head and his arm parts. And he does feature the steering gimmick right there. This stays connected, unlike some of the other robots where you actually have to break that connection in order to transform him into the robot. But since it's pegged under there together, it stays together in robot mode or vehicle mode. But he's really, really cool. Like I said, I love this vehicle mode. Let me get one car that I have laying around. Here he is next to Meister, or as everybody calls him, Jazz. And this is a small car. And they're all in scale with each other. So, as you can see, Skids is a really freaking small car. Like, Jazz is actually freaking longer than him, which is amazing. These things didn't look that little in person, but I guess they were, if the scale is actually accurate with these. So these probably pretty much a boxy Beetle. But anyway, let's get Meister out of here. Like I said, love his robot mode, love his vehicle mode. Transformation is a little bit difficult, but I soldiered through that, as you saw. So you should be able to do it too. Follow my instructions, as good as or bad as they were. But anyway, if you like this review, make sure to click the like button before you leave. I have a stupid hater, and we never want to have more hates or dislikes than likes here. So make sure you're diligent and click the like button and stop the hater. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Comment. I love comments. And share. Share, 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 share. Sharing is caring. T-Man 978 out of here.